Gonna be banned off of the table, and we keep it in the mid lane. Phoenix1 so far gonna go with the standard red side bans.
Or do they?
Meanwhile, here we do see a Zyra ban, so supports, rising here. Malzahar is definitely an option as well if one of those top 3 is not open. Malzahar, I'd love it as a first pick, super flexible. Can also transition into the mid lane, but with Zyra banned out, you definitely don't even have to, right? We have seen people play tanks into it, something like the Taric, or maybe Tom Kench for late game, being able to counter and eat people. But as of right now, they're just going to take that one off the table as well.
Malzahar getting banned out this game, didn't find it. Phoenix1, the tried and true 3 as ReignOver gets his Kha'Zix.
Yeah, I mean, the Cassiopeia hover there would be very questionable because, things like Orianna are still up. Meanwhile, Phoenix1, yeah, they're very clearly going to expect the Kha'Zix jump here for ReignOver because Team Liquid really have been prioritizing that for him. Talked about not comfortable on the other things. AShe is a good answer to the Varus, so this one not necessarily putting too much pressure on Team Liquid's next phase, but is definitely a good look for Arrow, right? He was able to land multiple Varus ultimates, really accurate with a lot of his sniping as far as the poke as well. And actually, Phoenix1 not putting any pressure at all, really open-ended here. Start to this first phase as they just answer jungle and leave Team Liquid now the option to dictate a role. They can pick up the AShe to try and answer there, and then go for something like that mid lane that's already been hovered. That would give Ryu, though, guaranteed counter pick, which, Phoenix1 on red side should be able to get at some points later on anyway.
They want to see if he can see it first for the mid lane pickup. I don't know. Karma may be the lock-in for them. Let's discuss it around the board. Piglet, or rather GoldenGlue, has been getting kind of champions on the team that should win his lane. They are giving him those resources. They're also providing him with some as well. And he's been stepping up a bit, but almost should be more coming out of that mid lane for what he said he wanted to do this season. We'll see what he still has to pick.
Well, it is an option for Phoenix1 to try and pinch him. Yeah, technically, Karma you could flex, but not going to be the case probably, as Nami has actually picked up quick answer here. So seems like we have all answered roles as we head into ban phase number 2. Pretty standard so far. This is going to mean, as I said before, though, yes, red side is going to get first pick and the final counter pick out of the second ban phase. So they can keep the counter pick here for Ryu and hold it as long as they want to the end of the draft. Make Team Liquid show it. Same is true for the top side of the map there, though. So it really does put some pressure on Team Liquid. See what Phoenix are going to go with here. If the top lanes are already being targeted, I would expect Phoenix1 to open up with a top lane pick, already taking out the Nautilus. I'd expect them to actually prefer, Ziggs on the Maokai and give them that super solid team fighting. So they are going to leave that one up and maybe force Team Liquid to ban it. Fior's already taken out, so that's one of the good counters. It puts a lot of pressure on Team Liquid to try and ban that one out and push Zig to something else. Poppy would be the king of the tanks left after that, or the queen, I guess, since Nautilus is already on the ban list here.
Thinking Poppy might be something Lourlo would want here, depending on what they do ban. He's had quite good play on it recently. Ooh. I think ban the Kled. It is Zig. Zig has quite a variety of champions, but this kind of leaves open the ability to get those picks that they would want.
Yeah, and that's the expected answer here. Since they did leave up the Maokai, didn't want to spend that one. They're looking at a counter pick here. Let's see. They already banned out the Kled, though, so not too many options. If they do want to match tank to tank, yeah, the Poppy is a little bit weaker, especially after the last rounds of nerfs. So be a bit of a step down from the Maokai, but might be able to delay here. Shen, as we just saw already, used this time. It will be the reverse matchup if they decide to go that way.
And Lourlo breaking out his first Shen if he did there for Spring. But he goes Poppy. He likes it. Be his third play coming in for that.
That's expected. I mean, he's played a lot of Poppy even last year as well. So back on a very comfortable champion for him. And Cassiopeia going to show early. Will Ryu go with the Orianna or something more assassin-like? For me, if you're going to go mid-lane control mage, it is the Orianna. Yeah, you know, there are pros to a couple of the other mouseovers that they had there, but Orianna, such good zoning there with Cassiopeia and good lane control early on. One of the great things about Orianna as well, doesn't have to ever look at Cassiopeia. Yeah, you do get some damage out of your auto attacks, but she can pull so many games with the ball placement and can easily turn her back for the Cassiopeia ultimates. Whereas Shockwave is super good for disengaging her, does have a lot of teamfight zoning as well, and you really have to respect that zone in this little matchup here.
I love the Nami pickup here for some AShe disengages if necessary. It's usually one of the ones that can halt an entire team in place if you're really trying to save your AD carry or whoever gets hit up. Pretty good picks coming out here. Looks like Team Liquid got a good composition of what they want. It looked like they had what they want last time, but GoldenGlue was able to see the composition a little bit more this time. Did blind pick that Rise, and it seemed to get him into trouble last game. Heading into game 2, Phoenix1 is coming off that first game hot and on fire. 20-2 was the score. Inori and Ryu going off huge. A lot of the players on the team deathless with that kind of score line, so they're feeling very confident, and TL has to find a way to shut that down. Coaches head off, and players are left to their own.
They do have, you know, some early game playmaking potential here. Both tanks, as we've seen, can very well set up ganks for these more damage-heavy junglers. We'll see how Inori does on the Rek'Sai, though. Yesterday or last night, he had a very good carry game on the Rek'Sai. Combining with Zig. Zig was the one bringing the damage with Jace that time around, though, and Maokai not quite as much.
So it should be kind of a slow start to the mid lane. Not too much kill pressure coming from these two, especially with their summoner spells of Cassiopeia, Orianna. Can't wait to get to the fight phase. However, for these compositions, if P1 even lets it go that far, we have just about a 30-minute game coming in now into game 2. After that 30-minute game 1, let's have it. TL now on blue side versus P1 coming in on the red side. Let's get into game.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Ghost in mid lane. I feel like it just highlights higher skill plays and higher skill players better. If you have the confidence to be able to dodge, you know, with the extra speed boost, it also is a very versatile spell. You know, you can use it extremely offensively. That being said, you know, definitely value in some uses of teleport, a lot more rare now, in my opinion, especially for the high DPS mages, really prolific in the mid lane nowadays. And then there's always the option for exhaust if they're more all in, but these guys are not all in. Remember, this is going to be very much about the range differences between the Orianna and the Cassiopeia.
If it was Huhi that got LeBlanc the other day, ran his Ignite. I was like, I haven't seen Ignite in a while. That's nice. I like that.
It is, you know, more ballsy, more all in. Looking for the snowball there if you go with that summoner. But yeah, when it is a matchup like this, that's so much about ranges. The Ghost just helps you control that range so much easier, as well as being super low cooldown for, you know, any pesky junglers that show up.
We actually saw it, you know, for quite some time, a long time ago. TF's running it, be a little bit safer in lane with the Flash Ghost. And everybody now. Lourlo helping ReignOver. The same buddy system over on the side of P1 as we get this second game started off. No forward ward here, not as much, I wouldn't say early action, but early strategy here from P1 to start off.
No forward ward, but both bottom lanes starting pretty far up in the lane, so you can kind of assume, you know, ReignOver did start, I believe, by himself with no pull on the bottom side last game to throw that curveball and try and get that little bit of surprise for the top side, which didn't really work out for them, but he's not going to try that this time around. Starts with the standard top laner pull.
Didn't seem fun for Zig. He'll heal back up nice and easy. Adrian grabbing a bit of brush control, but it's already warded, so he's getting in for the harass. Level 2 coming up close. Looks like it's going to be the same time as Matt and Piglet, just sidestep.
Oh, level 2 hawk shot here, going to go into the jungle and scout that. Yes, indeed, Inori definitely did start the top side because the hawk shot caught not only blue, but also the wolf camp. So like this, feeding ReignOver any extra information always super valuable, as Piglet is able to help out a little bit.
So what becomes your path then? You see the jungler top side, you know he has a full bottom to clear.
One of the biggest things, especially with the changes to the values of the early camps, is the Scuttle Crab, right? ReignOver here is getting it in for some early vision after the Hawk Shot, but Rek'Sai cheating a little bit since he's got the sonar passive, basically.
Ooh, jungle fight, but the AD carry bot's not gonna make it. They're going at it toe-to-toe. It looks like the mid laners also hitting each other up as they go hip and hip down the river.
Oh, Inori back in.
Inori's back in. He's got the double buffs on the side of ReignOver. He wants that transfer. Inori gets the transfer. Arrow and Adrian are there for the show, but they still get the assist in.
ReignOver going with the super deep invade on a Rek'Sai, and once again, Inori, huge advantage early on here. Actually, a mistake there. Lourlo gets himself under the turret, and Zig is gonna chase him down.
It's a big hit. Zig's got 1 second on that twisted advance.
The potion
2 or 3 seconds rather than level 1. There it is, the hit. Arcane smash in 1 second. Oh, you can use it here. There it goes.
Oh, huge mistake on that dive, but bottom lane another kill.
What is happening right now? Flash, go! All right, no, they pull back.
Oh, Riv. The mistakes here early from Team Liquid show that it's almost off to a very similar pace as the last game for Phoenix1. Lourlo goes for a dive up on the top turret, and Zig just snares him right under the turret. We'll take that advantage, thank you very much. Even though it's pretty close and chasing down that kill because not much extra damage, he eventually does find it. Meanwhile, ReignOver with that invade, also another mistake, and his kills just keep coming.
No, Matt, don't do it. I think I can. Can he? Oh, he did.
All right, he gets a summoner spell instead.
He thinks correctly.
No kill here. Slow it down a little bit, but yeah.
Ooh.
Golden.
Oh, would have been one more auto. Flashes with the ghost.
Pretty nice dancing.
Holy moly.
Dancing moves here from Ryu, though, as he's able to punish GoldenGlue for trying to bait that. GoldenGlue starts it off pretty early, knowing that he's got ReignOver on the way. Plus, he has this ward you see on the top half of the river, so that's the reason you can have that confidence to make that play. But Ryu just stands toe-to-toe, fights him, wins the trade himself so heavily that GoldenGlue ends up having to spend both summoners anyway, and it's another one of those cases of I get a jungle gank, but I blow my summoners offensively for no gain, and they end up just losing out in overall resources spent since my jungler showed, and I had burned summoners anyway.
Zig now with the kill, solo for himself. Lourlo, a little too aggressive under the turret as he got the lane pushed up. Zig was taking a lot of damage in that lane the whole time. The first time we came up, he was about 30% health, kept himself low. Maybe he's been keeping it nice and juicy. Found Lourlo in a bad situation. Still 33-39. The CS hasn't gone awry in that lane, so we'll see them doing some teleport plays in a bit.
ReignOver's coming up. He does have some extra charges in the Hunter's Potion, so shouldn't be worried about the low life. Plus the honey fruit right picking. Ryu really gonna feel confident now that he's got the extra mobility advantage. Ghost coming up quickly. Plus, Inori's doing such a good job with this ward control after that early punish onto ReignOver. He not only is this a good example of his vision work that he's doing, but he also had previously placed a deep ward on the blue quadrant. So man, he has just been back-to-back invades, really creating a lot of space for these laners that are doing well for themselves in their own rights.
Good lane pressure from Ryu. He wants a little bit more dominance in that lane and finds it as he pushes GoldenGlue back to base. Actually, he's going to keep him to stay here, pushing up the wave as fast as he can. So GoldenGlue will not get his back just yet. Bot lane has been pretty even overall. Adrian trying to go hard in the early game with bubbles. Hasn't really been able to get too much aggression on. With that Ashe arrow into now, we see Matt has Ignite this game. It's usually a different summoner pickup for him.
Yeah, looking for that level 6. I mean, so much about the Mage and Ashe Varus bottom lanes has been about level 6 power of those ultimates with looking for kills. And then by that point, you can also bring the junglers and maybe top laners down. So the extra Ignite there to really all in on that strategy. He does punish Adrian a little bit for trying to hold the wave here and take a bit of health, but Adrian healing up, and is Nami as well, so some innate sustain. Oh, don't believe he tagged that cannon. A little bit out of range, but not much he could do about it. I think really though, again, such a big story around Inori here on the Rek'Sai. Thing about Hawkshot is that both teams can see it fired, right? Even though it does give you vision, the enemy team can see that you're working with his intelligence and go, oh, next step would be go invade, right? And get a ward down there. Since he is Rek'Sai and does have the extra vision from his passive and those pings, just plays ReignOver so hard and punishes that invade. Now he can go for invades of his own, actually, since he's ahead. This time around, ReignOver's the one on Kha'Zix, so he gets isolated damage, and Inori's got to run.
It looks like it stings. Ooh, a missed petrifying gaze. Protect. Actually, the dissonant shockwaves goes to GoldenGlue. Correctly called by Ryu. Inori didn't need the speed up, and he turns the tide of the fight with that damage.
This time around, it is Ryu who saves Inori's butt.
Wow. Well played.
Even though, you have this lead on ReignOver, Rek'Sai, the Kha'Zix isolation damage post level 6, have to respect that duel and run away. GoldenGlue almost got the inside line there, but now Zig is going in on the Maokai burst.
Blue buff? Thank you.
What a tragedy for Team Liquid. They defend the invade. They're like, all right, we got him off our blue buff here. Zig just goes in and reaps the rewards.
Yeah, honestly though, things that shouldn't happen. Just having a Maokai able to walk down through the river and kill your mid lane. And
again, vision. Early game here, really well controlled by Phoenix1. Arrow goes all in, gets ignited. Matt is under turret.
Oh, that last hit did come through. There's the summoner heal. Oh, arcade smash. Zig is on a roll. And that one's going to go over. Lourlo trying to go hard. Pushes back Zig. They'll have Twisted advance in a second. Arrow and Adrian, very scary for them to get in here. The Keeper's Verdict is down, though. They keep their distance. They have the control. Hail of Arrows goes down to slow down Lourlo even more. And Zig picks up another one.
Zig is doing an outstanding job this game. Top lane, winning it there from mistakes from Lourlo. Then, basically, it's just not giving up on that invade play, I guess. Expecting that they are going for that blue handoff. Since they did have that deep vision there. And then this one, he's a second early on that teleport. He teleports first. Plus, it's Team Liquid's bottom lane that's really far up here.
Very good catch.
Matt gets himself stuck under the turret, so he took a lot of damage there. And both the flashes for Team Liquid bottom lane. This has actually been a story for the last couple games with Team Liquid. Their bottom lane pushes up super far, makes a super aggressive move. But the enemy top or the enemy jungle comes to punish it after they're super extended, and they'll use their summoners just to get themselves out of their own 2v2 situation. That it really is very difficult for Team Liquid here to come back from this. They're losing basically all areas of the map.
I said it shouldn't happen again, Kobe, but
every single area
seems like it was
here
completely up to P1.
Yeah. Problem areas for Team Liquid.
And you say that as much as you think about we go later, P1 banned that Nautilus. So Zig 401 is basically going to be unstoppable. You're not going to be fighting a Nautilus on the other side. It's Poppy, and that goes down a little faster. So the tank fight definitely goes in favor of Zig for quite a while, unless something goes awry for them. Great dodge. Once again, Flash is blown on both sides as he tries to pick up the kill, but GoldenGlue just comes up short on the kills. It's what we were seeing last game. They try to go for Ryu, they come up a little short, wasted attempt, and then it just seems like P1 bites down on that.
And another just giant solo advantage there for Ryu, just slapping GoldenGlue around this mid lane here. Gets off a giant combo, casually turns his back for the Cassiopeia ult, as we talked about, and then burns the flash for flash. So much turret damage, so much control. It's just another insane snowball here for Phoenix1. Should be able to get that first turret gold for themselves as well. Ryu takes his toll.
And even, he's been gone from his lane most of the time, but the few moments he's actually had Inori up here as well.
Across the board.
CS lead, and look how much damage he still has on that top turret, already about to fall after the mid lane. So consecutive they should be, and a lot of gold rolling in here for P1 early in the game.
Yeah, solo lanes are definitely an issue here.
The ball placement
Exactly.
Off of everything.
Zoning pretty hard. Oh, we got the poison on. Didn't get cash for it, though. All right. Counterplay options look pretty slim because of the deep vision here, where Phoenix1, you see all these red wards encroaching into Team Liquid territory, plus the really big early leads. But once again, Team Liquid are in the situation where they need to play defensively.
Got the flash down, and that's a snake down. ReignOver won't get hit up, though, but the power coming through from P1 being this much up means TL is not long for this world.
And that's why people always talk about putting up that defensive vision after your turrets go down.
Yeah.
When your turret goes down, you're so vulnerable, and if they don't have defensive vision on the entrances to their jungle, Inori is just going wherever he pleases at the moment. Gonna take this in ReignOver's face. Maybe they have a smite fight.
Yep. Even Arrow and Adrian are trying to route above Piglet and Matt here, so they can't give ReignOver help. Matt has gotten on the safety side, though, and they're probably going to start up a fight here. Inori just went in on a ReignOver, and this has now come to this 4v3. Double bubble on the other side of Kha'Zix. That's going to be Piglet getting hit up. He's still able to deliver a bit. Adrian pops himself over the wall with a blast cone. A good hit by Arrow, almost finished by Adrian. ReignOver squeaks himself out of the fight with a little hop.
Let's go!
And Inori over. They go both sides. And it looks like this one slowly disengages. Seems like somebody still wants to fight, but they're not going to find any damage.
Woo-wee. All right, well, they got the red buff. Secured Riv. Brambleback is still on Team Liquid's side.
Worth.
The reason ReignOver stuck around is because he's Inori does use his smite on ReignOver, so ReignOver knows. I don't know the reason for Matt against that wall, trying to land the snare though in the 4v3. Now GoldenGlue does arrive, so you know, ReignOver did at least land his smite to steal that back away, but not a whole lot of momentum back in Team Liquid's favor as they gave up a kill for this. Plus, you have zero pressure, and turret air is taking some damage as well.
Yeah, look at that bottom side. The red wards all over. As that was just their party zone. We'll see if they decide to move those and go towards the top side of the map.
Man, it's such a really up and down experience for these guys on Team Liquid side. This is another one of those teams that was kind of near the middle of the pack that coming into the season, seeing the openings at the top end of the NALCS, we're looking to make some moves, right? They want to make a name for themselves and really push past middle of the pack, but doesn't look like they are going to get there super soon, as Phoenix1 are really putting them in their place in this series.
It just doesn't seem like there's the same kind of communication. We'd almost expect the play coming out of Inori to be the aggression you see from ReignOver from season to season, right? The players around him as well going as hard, demanding respect in their lanes. But it seems like P1 is, for lack of a better word, kind of just able to walk over these situations and really find no trouble as they approach a lane, or now heading for Dragon. Obviously, they've given themselves such a lead here, but they're just making it kind of seem seamless as they capitalize on all the fundamentals of getting out of the laning phase so nicely.
Arrow also is going to have those high impact long range shots now. Got his Ghost Blade completed, top of plenty of mana with his tier. Piglet, we're looking for something for Team Liquid, right? You're trying to find some way for them to create a defensive play, and the arrow is going to be the impetus for that, you know? Lourlo has teleport, so technically, if they land an arrow on somebody out of position, you know, and they have some damage around, they can call all of their members to join. It's just that you really need to get the jump on someone since there's such a huge lead. But again, over and over, it's Phoenix1 with the jump.
Petrifying Gate flash right onto Ryu to not give Inori any more pop-up chance. GoldenGlue's gonna get hit up here, and this is P1, almost living in their jungle, able to respond right away. But are there enough members of TL? Yes, there are. Base is just a few steps away, and they're able to bring the cavalry in, shutting down, finally, and some aggression from P1.
Yeah, that is one of the best outcomes you can hope for Team Liquid, right? Defensive play. This time they have a bit of defensive vision set up. as you can see, their wards, and they've got people in place. This is Inori just filled to the brim with confidence, so he's going in. And GoldenGlue and ReignOver, talk about being on the same page there. Double flash to the isolated Ryu and just completely take him down. Then their bottom lane here is able to focus Inori, while Lourlo did teleport in on the other side, and Lourlo's the tank. Inori not quite tanky yet, even though he's super far ahead and building semi-tank, so he gets taken down before they get to work through the Poppy.
Thought it was just the cannon minions that made you do crazy things.
So those control wards too.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
Something
well,
about it.
that's a little bit of gold back in their pockets. But we'll see if those wards actually are able to move in any deeper from Phoenix1. So this time around, they've got a lot of poking power, and they actually can siege as well.
How would the scenario work of kind of when you see a team with Poppy behind, you're hoping for the teleport behind, you keep your verdict 1 or 2 people because you have the split, and it might work for us, these guys, because then that makes Adrian choose where to use the Tsunami. The arrow becomes a little more efficient, so maybe if Liquid can get some deep wards, they have them on the blue side, they could capitalize, or maybe just an arrow.
The pick, the
Well,
arrow!
I set up this
There it is.
complicated thing. Why don't you shoot someone with an arrow? They know what to
That
do.
could be the impetus. They take it. Nice shot there from Piglet. He's trying to get him back into the game. They have a little bit of power here now, but they still have to be very wary. Actually, Arrow using the Varus ultimate, so that's down as well. Definitely some much-needed gold, and they'll just stack that one right up.
Note to self. Arrow and arrow, we should call it. Enchanted crystal arrow, or ash arrow. That can get confusing.
Yeah, opposite teams.
Rift Herald voided out. Baron is in. The new hotness. We'll see what happens for this between P1 and TL. I don't think TL is going to want anything to do with that yet. And P1 would just use it to dangle in front of Team Liquid. Good flash by Piglet to get himself to safety. He's been trying to just get as many minions in his bot lane as possible, slowly farming it out, making sure they stack up so he can get them safely.
Yeah, let's see how good Phoenix1 this time around are good at forcing. Because last time, you know, they had Rengar and Shen. Rengar and Shen, when you've got turrets down, is really, really nice and pretty easy to push that tempo. This time around, though, a little bit more standard with their comp here. And they've got a lot of area to control, whereas Team Liquid have focused very heavily on that defensive vision and on defending their jungle at the moment. So Phoenix1, they don't have to get worried yet, but they do need to concentrate on not giving away any more of those picks, because the solid advantage that they have should transition into this next Drake. Set up around the Drake, some wards on the backside, and they should be able to draw out. Oh, another arrow, pretty good shot, but Ryu dodges this one.
Good sense by Ryu. So these things are a little quiet. I'm probably going to have to dodge something soon, but now we see Liquid every time that arrow's up, or at least the last 2 times. Let's say every time. But since those 2 times it has been fired, they're looking for those openings, the unconditional arrow to the face that they can follow up on before this team starts building up Quicksilver sashes on their bot lane.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the state of the game, and it becomes kind of risky here, right? Team Liquid, they want to make more picks, they want to get some gold back, but another Mountain Drake for Phoenix1 puts so much pressure on transitioning over to the Baron after they pick this up. They can burn through that very quickly. And this time around, they've got 2 tanks that they have options for tanking the Baron. So they don't even have to have like the entire team there. They can just take this extra Mountain Drake, then slowly move all of their vision over to Team Liquid's blue quadrant, force them to run through these small corridors. You've got a Varus, so that makes that really scary, as well as a very standard team fighting comp. So I think the next couple stages here for Phoenix1 should be pretty clear. Pick up this double Earth Drake for themselves, Mountain Drake, and then try and put a lot of pressure on Team Liquid to make a mistake and try to check into the fog of war around here.
A little punch by Lourlo on the Zig Love tap there. Looking at Inori for a quick second, his inventory, kind of skipping that skirmisher's finish.
Ooh.
Going for Titanic.
Might do a 5-man dive here on the Maokai.
It's going to take a while. We said Zig was pretty big. 4-0-1. Vengeful Maelstrom denying a lot of that damage. Coming in, and they're gonna get ReignOver. Zig, Rangers is on, and they're able to take him down from Piglet's damage, but holy moly. It took an entire team to take him down.
The 5v3 there, because Inori was also bottom after taking the Mountain Drake. The entire time, Ryu's committing to this split push, so they're gonna trade an outer for a secondary, whereas Inori's pushing mid. So Phoenix1 are pushing in both of the other lanes while this is happening, and getting a decent amount more, but they get caught!
Arrow, Adrian's next. A quick Keeper's Vertical, lock that in. This is a little bit of damage on the bot side. Mid lane is actually getting taken down quite hard as well, as that whittles away and drops some structure. 10 to 7, much closer. Good prey seeker, seeking out the prey. Oh, wow.
Ryu gets another one for himself. Oh wow, they want to chase down Lourlo.
This is what we see from P1. The fight ends, but not for them. If they can keep going, if there are still fighters on the map from that last fight, it seems like P1 tries to pick up those stragglers straight to the top lane, and a good strategy as well, because now they have to take the time to back and you're already in position if you have the waves.
Exactly, they can take this time now to clear out vision around Baron to force that. Here, Phoenix1, the reason they're pushing up to try and stop these bats is to buy Ryu time, and in the end, opening up bottom inhibitor is gonna just add tenfold extra pressure to this double Mountain Drake Baron threat. You really have to worry about that bottom lane inhibitor at the same time. So Phoenix1 gonna start it up and begin the pressure here.
It's so dark. I'm
What
scared,
Hawk
Kobe.
shot, where's the Hawk shot? I don't know if it's on cooldown. Did they just use it? Maybe they just had.
Hawk
maybe
shot
they had
is
just
down,
used it.
yeah, 33 seconds right now on Piglet, so. That was P1 using the domination that they have so far through the game. You know, Liquid kind of giving that one up, saying we can brave that, and I think they'll be able to as well. Still difficult to have to watch the objectives go away and find that one opening that's going to get you back into the game. We said it is that arrow. It could also be the erroneous engage by P1. You get a good petrifying gaze from GoldenGlue, and you might be able to lock up the team just how you want it. Arrow finishing that edge of night, so he can already start dodging out Piglet's attacks here. He's a little bit safer. And yep, Inori building up tank. Finally finishes his jungle item.
Ooh, meanwhile, Maokai, Guardian Angel completed. If it's not difficult enough to take him down the first time, dive potential is definitely here for Phoenix1. They don't have to though, because bottom turret was already taken by Ryu in the last push. And Baron buff is going to allow them to empower this siege. Shots from Arrow are going to come through with that zoning Orianna ultimate. Orianna sieging is actually one of the things that teams really lose track of, that Orianna ball. When you get to the stage and there are a lot of spell effects flying around and a lot of stuff that you're paying attention to, it's really crucial, especially for your backline, to keep an eye on that Orianna ball. Because one quick move from Ryu can take out the whole squad.
You can also
really
leave it
powerful.
very close to structures, and it almost sits in them, but you'll see the bobbing action. But like you said, you're not looking for that. Right now, the ball is in control of P1, right with the team as they move forward onto the Nexus turrets. And even less time than game one, 26.5 minutes, and they were already knocking on the front door of that Nexus turret. They're gonna back off though, and make sure they have their minions pushed up before they go too far.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising to see, but Phoenix1. We say this a lot, but so fresh and so clean this series. Very, very clean. Just completely outplaying Team Liquid. This game all across the board.
Yeah, this wasn't ReignOver having
area.
trouble in the early. It's a 2-2-2 ReignOver to a 2-1-2 Inori. They were getting at each other in every lane, and it's been P1.
Yeah. The one area is that Team Liquid did have a CS lead in the bottom lane for a little while there. Marginal CS lead. But then, you know, they did make a very aggressive play up at Phoenix1's turret where they were punished super quickly by the other powerful lanes of Phoenix1.
And Zig, solo kill. Zig, another kill. Teleport bot lane. Zig, another kill. And now the team pushing forward. The next inhibitor turret goes down, and Liquid is just firing every bit of poke they have, albeit very medium ranged, into P1 right now to try and get them off this.
All right, slowly but surely, cannon minion buffed up. Oh, they're going in.
How many's he get? That's a good quantity. I'll take 3. Inori and Zig still in though. Look how tanky these guys are. 4v2 as the rest of the team comes in.
Maokai healing off those guys.
Puts the ball in front. That's the inhibitor going down. 11-8 here, 28 minutes in, and they're looking to do an under 30 victory against Team Liquid here in week 2. P1 trying to get to the top of the standings as fast as possible. From the ashes of last year, the Phoenix is definitely rising so far. They got a long way to go, but are showing very well here in the beginning of the season. Pushed out of the base. Liquid's trying to get themselves a few more minutes before the return of P1. But maybe it's right now.
Yeah, pretty desperate chase here. They realize this game is slipping out of their hands, so.
Zig has no mana. The dissonance slows 2. Focuses on Matt. That would be the timer for him going down quicker. But they pull out. They say, we'll get this Mountain Drake. It'll be in, it'll be out. Oh! Look at GoldenGlue, he says, no, minion!
Triple Mountain Drakes to empower that Nexus backdoor I'm looking for. All right. Extra damage to objective.
Just one, Zig, Maokai backdoor.
Let's see.
Teleports in.
How stylish can they do it here? They have a ward. Look at that ward
there it is.
inside the base. It's pretty far from the Nexus, but it's inside.
The lumbering tree, he can make it.
Inori's got a semi-deep tunnel as well, and maybe they make it a 2-man mission. Probably just go for a standard, though. They don't have to risk anything.
Yeah.
Phoenix1 can push up all 3 lanes, no problem.
That 2-1-2 with your tank mid lane?
Yeah, feels good. They're actually just farming Krugs at the moment. Inflating CS numbers! I'm destroying him.
Actually tied. Oh, you got the last 2.
Yeah, see, he had to go for it. That was necessary.
Did that heal him? Does he hurt? God, he's so big right now.
He finds something to auto-attack.
Yeah, no, seriously, you can see his arm glowing.
All
3
right.
items. Those 3 items for Zig were 25 minutes. The Sunfire, the Spirit Visage, and his Guardian Angel. He's been gigantic. He's going to have trouble fitting items into his inventory soon.
Yeah.
Currently 2,000 gold up on his opposing laner as they head down the top side. And they're going to look for the last inhibitor turret. Cleanup duty by Lourlo and ReignOver on the bot. They're going to scurry over now and meet Inori in the middle of the map.
Yep, a lot of individual mistakes here from Team Liquid in this game. And having a very rough time coming back from them. Phoenix1 just taking those mistakes pretty much everywhere and snowballing quite efficiently. 31 minutes almost as they head right in towards the Nexus.
There's one thing you can definitely say about P1 is they keep up the pace. A lot of teams will stall out a few times. We question that ourselves as well, but when we did, P1 would kind of fire back in the next 2 minutes. So I don't think teams are really used to that just yet. A lot of the 15 to 25 minutes of games become stall outs, and that's not when P1 stalls out. That's when they keep going, and it's mostly because of this guy right here on your screen, Inori. Tsunami comes out. This could be the final touches here from P1 as they look for the Nexus. Ryu over to Piglet, tries to get the 80 carry down. The last few hits are going to allow him to get to the fountain. The Nexus is getting taken down. It's at 50% HP, and P1 coming up with 2 very nice games over Team Liquid. They take the series 2-0.
Lickety split there for Phoenix1. And they improve to 2-2, I believe.
And you can see on GoldenGlue's face there, the disparity, not the way we play feeling. And I'm sure TL felt that all the way through the game, trying to do what they could to right the wrongs, but it seemed like P1 just found everything they could to make it that much harder.
And it was actually 3-1. Their only loss did come to Team Dignitas. And that was in that 1-2 series. So other than that, besides that single series, Phoenix1 have 2-0'd Envy as well as Echo Fox. And they are, starting to make a name for themselves here. Really do like the way the new roster's shaping up.
Yeah.
And starting to come together.
And that's the question. This was one of their first tests. There's a lot been put on ReignOver. Seemed like there were some faults there for Team Liquid this time. See if they come back stronger next week as well. We know they play much better than that, but that's not to take credit away from P1 in that game as well. They played very well, and it's hard to look good when a team plays that well, honestly. Great job out of the jungle mid lane. This guy on Maokai last game. Zig, what was that? Getting his first, you work a kill off of Poppy, you're like, oh, Maokai got a kill top lane. Great, he's going to be a good tank later. And then just starts racking them up right after that.
Yeah, I want to, maybe we need to go back a bit further and see that replay, because that was a definite turret dive from Lourlo.
Oh, yeah, mistake.
Because we're always like, oh, yeah, Poppy, Maokai, solo kills, you don't really have to, probably not going to happen, don't have to pay attention. But when you turret dive like that and take a bunch of turret shots, definitely changed the possibilities there. And even though it was hard to chase down, he got that one and ran with it.
Definitely something to look at for that game. It was Inori really getting under the skin, I should say the team in Pix bans, and then the ward onto, I was going to say Kha'Zix, but on ReignOver, got his name now, to start that game. Having his pathing allowed P1 to do so much. Definitely something to look at. They are so proactive with just a little bit of information.
Yeah. And it was actually a lot about laners as well.